It's not in the cards for you. I'm pretty good at insults, and I got the internet and a lot of free time.
Let's look at the modern man and the modern woman in 2024. I'm not saying this is all of them. What I'm saying is this is the most vocal among them. Let's look at the modern woman, for example. Wants to be seen as strong and independent, but relies on a man for material possessions. The more material possessions that she gets, the more likely she is to go with that man. You can give her everything you can, and a guy comes up with a nice car, she instantly goes to the guy with the nice car. They want to call themselves Christians, but Jesus himself was against money. They want to call themselves Jews or higher power, but all that higher power shit is just bullshit. Why would God create sin? Oh, you say, well, the devil created sin. But who created the devil? You see what I mean? Like, I'm not a Christian, I'm an atheist, but I will point out Isaiah 45:7 until I'm blue in the face, because it says God created evil. And Jesus in the New Testament said to keep those Old Testament things holy. Was it holy to stone your wife if she gets a divorce? Is it holy to stone gay people? I don't think so. I think as a human being, you should be against all that shit, whether you're gay or straight or whatever. But let's look at the modern man. The modern man wants to define himself as an alpha male while having no empathy towards others, wants to be defined by other men as alpha because they didn't come up with this thing themselves, and it certainly wasn't women that came up with the whole idea of alpha, beta, gamma males. It was other men. So you and your fucking retard friends are defining yourselves by what other men define you as by using the term alpha and beta itself. You're just basically beta cucks. They want to be seen as alphas, so you show no love towards anyone, and you're assholes. So it's bitches and assholes that are the most vocal minority. Or are they the majority now? Who knows? But they're certainly the most loud, and they deserve each other. If they're both going to be narcissistic pricks, then those women deserve those men, and we need to escape from this non-empathetic system that has no character to it behind it. It's just a bunch of bullshit lies and contradiction. So if that's the vocalness of the modern human being in 2024, we need to rise above that shit and start defining ourselves instead of what other people define us as. Leagues, like there's leagues like, oh, she's a 1, she's a 10, so I'm not gonna get her because I'm a 1, I'm a 0. Well, if you ascribe to that way of thinking, sure, you're not gonna get anyone. And I can't get anyone either because of the modern man, which is accepted, and the modern woman, which is accepted, which are materialistic, greedy, narcissistic assholes, man and woman both. So I'm happy not to have a girlfriend if that's the fucking runabout. Let me tell you about the Generation X Christian conservative males if they want to date 20-something-year-old women. First of all, they'll berate you for liking younger women if you're Generation X and left-wing or a liberal. But then what they'll do is when you're with your girl, whether she's in a relationship with you or not, they'll break bro code and they'll start talking to that woman with you there practically in a relationship and an item with that chick, and the chick will just follow the bullshit because they'll run their game. Oh, you're so pretty. Oh, you're so nice. You know what I mean? And they'll steal your chick because the modern woman has no accountability and is materialistic as hell. So it'll all come down to what material possessions he will pose to her in rationed amount so that he gets the girl. Even if you were waiting for maybe a little money, she'll go with the guy that can get her that fix of money and power now. Stuff. material possessions. This is the kind of thing that makes me a socialist, because I'm sick and tired of the bullshit of capitalist-loving evangelicals encroaching in the way without remorse. And keep in mind, they'll still want to be your friends after this, after they essentially steal your chick that you've been hanging out with for months, with more praise and more bullshit lies in order to institute Stockholm Syndrome. And then it'll stop when it's in the relationship, because they'll be Mr. Yuck. Because they're going to do themselves right now. And you'll be sad as a leftist or a liberal without the chick, and they'll be sad when they have the chick because, oh, she's not a Trump supporter. But they'll have the chick, so they'll get the affection from the chick, because it's all just a bunch of bullshit that they want to hear, the romantic shit, you know, that we could do as leftists and liberals. Yes, queen, you know, we could do that shit. But if the chick says she doesn't want a boyfriend, she'll just go to Republican, because Republican is there with the bullshit. And they'll do things. They'll be like, oh, we love the thin blue line, but then they'll break laws. You know, they'll say, you gotta stop going after younger women, but then they'll immediately go with younger women. That's what happened to me. A 46-year-old stole my 25-year-old. And I'm a little pissed at that, but then I start to realize, hey, maybe she's a Republican. You know what I mean? Maybe she believes in capitalism. Maybe she wants this shit because she could just get more weed and cigarettes or whatever else is posed to her, because they're materialistic losers. And that's just what we got to fight. I'm starting to think that the problem with Gen Z leftists isn't about ageism, because I think they're willing to say daddy with us and be in that whole, you know, daddy-daughter relationship, the age gap relationship, or whatever you want to call it, the opposing MILF, you know, the gray back, the silver fox, or whatever you want to call it. I don't think they're bigots, maybe, in that regard. But you have to understand that a lot of them I'm seeing are dating in their own economic class or above. You say you're against the oligarchy, you say you're against, you know, the whole thing of class separation, you're for class war, you're pro-proletariat, and I'm a Gen X leftist, and I'm wondering how the fuck you can call yourself a leftist when you're breaking with code. You know what I mean? It would be like me dating a Republican chick or something like that. You're dating guys that got cars because you have a car, but you're touting your socialism and your leftism. That's a bit hypocritical. How can I possibly date somebody that's a hypocrite? It's like a no true Scotsman atheist that says, oh, I'm more atheist than you. At that, my atheist ass is just like, you know, that's a faulty argument. I'm completely turned off. Liars turn me off. You know what I mean? I don't understand this shit. It's very contradictory what you're doing, and I think that it needs to end, or the mega Republicans are going to win you over by saying the same thing, but they'll forget to chime in the fact that they support Trump, who hates women. I mean, if you're a Republican, you basically do hate women. You're not allowing them to have abortions on their consent. You're against girls, period. You want a 10-year-old to give birth, as per the vice president-elect's words, because, you know, J.D. Vance thinks that a 10-year-old should give birth, and Tim Walz, who ran with Kamala, thought that a 10-year-old should have a free lunch at school. There's the moral divide that I'm seemingly having with the Republicans. But you got to understand that the socialists and the leftist chicks are hypocritical as well when it comes to class war, and it comes to proletarianism, and it comes to oligarchy. And we really need to check that bullshit at the door and realize we're just people. You know, parity with Nazis is one thing, because it's anti-parity with human beings. And the Proud Boys and the Trump supporters are basically Nazis. You know, they're like, do what I tell you to do kind of attitude. And so I'm wondering how you as a woman could go with somebody that hates women and hates a woman's right to choose and wants a traditional wife that cooks and cleans for him like she's his mommy or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, that's not you, so why are you traveling with this cunt? But, you know, the socialism thing, the lack of accountability with that really pisses me off, and I gotta say I'm kind of hurt by that, because I ride the bus, you know what I mean? And you're there like in a different world touting your socialism as I am, but your boyfriend has a car and you have a car. You have a nice house and he's got a nice house. Where's the parity with us when you want like an acquaintanceship relationship? That's bullshit. Don't call me bro. Don't call me dude. Call me daddy if you're going to call the Republicans daddy. You know what I mean? Stop being hypocrites.
As an older guy interested in younger males and a libtard or whatever you want to call me,